In the Dorset countryside, there is a village where time appears to have stopped. Stone cottages still line the narrow lanes. A church still stands, overlooking the valley. Inside the village school, lessons remain written on the blackboard. It feels as though the people who lived here could return at any moment, but they never did. In 1943, the people of Tyneham closed their front doors, believing they would soon come home. More than 80 years later, those doors have never been opened again. This is Tyneham. Tyneham lies on the Isle of Purbeck in the county of Dorset, surrounded by rolling hills, and only a few miles from England's southern coast. Today, visitors walk its quiet lanes, step inside its empty cottages, and explore a school where lessons still cover the blackboard. It is peaceful, almost untouched, but every silent building tells the same story. A story of ordinary people, whose lives were changed forever by war. Before the Second World War, around 200 people called Tyneham home. Most families had lived here for generations. They farmed the surrounding fields. Children filled the village school. Sundays were spent in the small stone church. It wasn't a place of wealth or great importance. It was simply home, a place where life followed the seasons, and tomorrow looked much like yesterday. Then, in the autumn of 1943, everything changed. Britain was preparing for one of the most important operations of the war. Allied forces were training for the invasion of Nazi-occupied Europe. Soldiers needed somewhere to practice with live ammunition, across hills, fields, and open countryside. The land around Tyneham was considered ideal. The villagers were told they had to leave. The evacuation, they were assured, would only be temporary. Most believed they would be home within months. So they packed what they could carry, locked their doors, and walked away. One resident left a handwritten note on the church door. It read, "Please treat the church and houses with care. We have given up our homes where many of us have lived for generations to help win the war. We shall return one day and thank you for treating the village kindly." Those words captured the hope of an entire community. They truly believed they were coming back. Victory came in 1945. The war was over, but the promise was never kept. The army decided the training area was still needed. Tyneham remained closed. Families waited, appealed, hoped, but permission to return never came. Their homes slowly fell into silence. Roofs collapsed. Gardens disappeared beneath weeds. The village they remembered became a place preserved only in memory. Today, Tyneham stands as one of Britain's most remarkable ghost villages. The church has been carefully preserved. The school still feels as though the children have only just stepped outside. Photographs tell the stories of the families who once lived here. Names carved into gravestones remind visitors that this was never simply an abandoned place. It was a community. History often remembers the great battles, the famous leaders, and the victories that shaped nations. But sometimes, its most powerful stories are found somewhere much quieter. In an empty classroom, a weathered front door, a handwritten note, still waiting for a promise to be fulfilled. The people of Tyneham left believing they would return. They never did. Yet their village remains, not as a ruin, but as a reminder that behind every decision made in wartime were ordinary lives, ordinary families, and ordinary homes, changed forever. Because every empty street leaves a story behind, and every story leaves evidence. This was Archive Zero.